Just want to clarify something for question 5 in the homework talking about minimum wage. It talks about a binding minimum wage, and a binding price control, and minimum wage is a price control, means that it would impact the market. So let's just look at this example right now. In this example, the market equilibrium is price $10. If the government was to come in and say, you cannot pay anyone less than $7.50 here, that is below the equilibrium, and it would be a non-binding, in this case, minimum wage law, meaning it would not impact the market at all. So think about it this way. Government comes in and says you can't pay anyone less than $7.50. Well, that doesn't bind or impact the market because the market's already selling unskilled labor at $10. You would have a binding minimum wage law if the minimum wage law was above the equilibrium. So let's just set this to $12.50. This here is now an example of a binding minimum wage law. If the government comes in and says you cannot pay anyone less than $12.50, that is above the equilibrium. It'll impact the market. Prices would try to go down, but they can't because they hit the minimum wage law. And in this case, you'll create a surplus of labor, excess supply of labor, and excess supply of labor's unemployment. So just a little clarification on what binding means. Binding means the price control would impact the market. For a minimum wage law to bind, the minimum wage law must be greater than in price than the equilibrium. So here, any price greater than $10 would be a binding minimum wage law.